you're gonna pay $50. Like all you need is the PS4 Uncharted.
No, I have it. I have it. No, I have it on PS5 because I already own the game.
All right.
Yeah, but it's only the upgrade. The upgrade is only $10.
We should be
I have the upgrade. I have it. I'm
talking to Smooth. Smooth's like, I'm gonna do anything to play it not on my
PlayStation. I don't feel like playing on PlayStation again because when I already beat it on PlayStation and the PS5 upgrades are not significant at all.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it runs at 120 frames
at 1080p,
and then at 60 FPS at 1440p. It's not significant,
dude. 1080p's lit, bro.
I don't know. This shit look good.
High refresh rate on PC, DLSS.
I don't know. I'm playing it on the PS5.
Y'all so bougie that can't play at 1440p now.
No, garbage, Ray. You was just talking about you want a new. You talking about you want a new GPU
like that, bro.
Wow. You were saying you want a new GPU, bro. Stop that bougie talk.
Because it's dog. My GPU is dog shit.
We're gonna have to do this.
We got that GPU.
We're gonna have to do this. My bad. Again, Planet Xbox episode 118. I'm recording just in case YouTube snipes me away from this. Right. Just a quick recap. I don't know what's gonna happen to the other two attempts. We talked about Midnight Express. Good game on Game Pass. Download it if you haven't. It's cool. Sounds realistic. Yes, the gameplay is fun. The graphics are dog shit.
Very visceral.
But
beat 'em up.
It's cool. Ole Man Logan highly recommends Code of the Lamb.
Oh yeah.
Code of the Lamb.
He has a review going. There's a written review.
It's live. It's live now.
The Level 1 Gaming website, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's up now. It went up like 1 p.m. today.
All right, and you wrote that review.
Yeah, I wrote. It's my review. Yep.
Awesome. So he highly recommends the game. He started to talk about Saints Row. Now, this conversation was interesting because this is where Dre comes in because I guess these two are about to come and defend that game. And I think we missed a lot of that conversation. It was an interesting conversation. I last remember Logan saying something is between 2 and 3, which I'm still trying to figure out how. And Dre seems to agree with that sentiment.
That's a fact.
Logan, Dre, why is Saints Row the reboot better than what the Metacritic says?
I didn't say that.
Oh, you didn't say that.
For me, I definitely wouldn't like. Okay.
Oh man,
I don't give games full scores till I beat it.
Okay.
But I don't think is it because we played 3 hours we played of it streamed last night. So we're only like 3 hours in. So I don't really give games scores like in the first 3 hours of the game. I would just say in my play time right now, I wouldn't have gave it a 5. Like if the game ended right now, which is ridiculous because we just started it, like I don't see a 5 out of it.
Yeah.
Now, and I didn't really read any of the reviews. I just saw the score, so I don't really know what their complaints were or what they didn't like about the game or what. But the one thing I did read was from Paul Tassi, who said he put out an article that came out like the day before or the day after all the Metacritic scores came up and said, it kind of broke down like about the scores, being in the 50s and should it be there or whatnot, and he went along the lines of, if you like Saints Row and you enjoy those games, like what this game has to offer is just another version of what you already love of Saints Row.
Yeah.
And so when I read that from him, I was like, I've enjoyed every single Saints Row game that's come out. So if this is just more or less the same Saints Row, and there's been enough time for me since, Saints Row 4 came out, I think 2014, like I was due to be back in that kind of universe, that wacky mayhem. It's been a minute since the last one. I mean, you got to think Saints Row 4 launched on the 360 and PS3. We only got on, the Xbox One and PS4. We only got, they ported, Saints Row 4 over, and then they did the remaster 3. But this is the first time we've had a new game in a whole entire generation. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm like, this is more or less more Saints Row, and it's been a while. And the crazy thing is, like some of these people, dude, they live and die by Metacritic scores. And that's why I made that post on Twitter, like about like a lot of my favorite games that I ended up adoring and loving were lower scoring games. You know, Rise, Days Gone. I forget, I put like 5 different titles out there that like are games that I thoroughly enjoyed. And if I, as a gamer, only looked at Metacritic and decided whether I was going to play or not play a game, I would have missed out on those games.
Yeah.
Like that I actually personally, me as a gamer, enjoyed. So when I look and see like Saints Row's, you know, in the, I think it was like the 50s. I'd have to look up where it's at now.
It was at like 57, but I think it's like in the 60s. Like
I'm not.
It's like
I'm not gonna look at that score, and that score is not gonna make. Now this might be, you know, a different case for many other people, but that score is not gonna make or break whether I buy the game or not. It just isn't.
Yeah.
It's because I don't go off of. Yeah, I might put reviews and share my opinions out there, but I go off of what I enjoy. I don't really go off of what other people enjoy.
Yeah, what you experience.
I feel you on that. I totally agree with you. I swear to God, bro, I'm not a hater. Like I've never had like a hater gene in my blood, nothing like that. But this game, yo, I'm not gonna lie. That when that Metacritic score came out, I had to drop that tweet. That shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah, it's fun, but
that was a funny ass tweet because there were people legit like on like podcasts and Twitter capping for this game. Like it's about to be the greatest shit to come out this year, or at least one of the games. I even heard people talk about Game of the Year contender.
I was not in that category. I wasn't in those conversations.
I had to drop that tweet, man, because yo, I did not like the direction of the Saints Row franchise personally. When I first seen this game, we were on this podcast and we gave our thoughts on it. You got these Gen Z fucking characters out here trying to pay off student loan debts by becoming criminals. What the fuck kind of fuck is that?
What were you looking at?
But you gotta understand, is this like, all right, you said hold up, you said these Gen Z characters out here trying to do all this wacky, crazy shit, be gangsters, pay off loans, and all of this stuff. So they diving into real world situations and tying them into, okay, why this would lead them to a life of crime. Old Man said that they remastered the third one, right?
The fourth one.
Well, they ported the fourth one. I don't think the fourth one was really
they ported the fourth one.
They did like a remake and updates and stuff for the third one.
Yeah,
so like there's a Series X patch and a PS5 patch for the Saints Row the Third.
So for them to kind of feel that tonal wise, like it lands in between 2 and 3, where you have some real life situations, and then you have like kind of like 3 where it gets kind of outlandish. It doesn't seem like too out of the way for real. Like that makes sense for them to go this route, but still to tie in a little bit of real world stuff that could lead people down a certain path.
I know Dre had a question. What's your question, bro?
Like,
what's your question?
What did you expect? Yeah, like what did you personally want out of it?
I personally wanted them to go back to the Saints Row 1 and Saints Row 2 route, where it's like actual gang, like urban gang warfare shit with a bit of wackiness. No.
Like you knew
when they first announced that they were rebooting it, I thought they were, but then when they started to talk about the game a bit more, that's when I knew, oh, like they're not going back to that route. Like this is the direction that they're going in, and it's like, all right,
1 and 2 had the goofiness in it as well.
No, I'm not. It was gangster. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about, Smooth.
Insurance fraud is not gangster. Sorry.
Bro, no.
There was so much wacky shit in the first two.
Yes, there was. But it was like actual, like...
Yeah, nobody wanted to change that part of it. We just don't want these double pump latte Starbucks.
It was the tone, but once they started going
it was the tone about it. Yeah.
Once you start going full on wacky and goofy, it's like, yo, this shit's kind of lame. Like, I don't want to like play that. It's like the same thing happened to the Crash Bandicoot franchise as well. Like the later Crash games went to that level, and then they had to like bring it back to the platformer that it was.
I mean, like you're not shooting aliens and shit in this one, right? So
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
It's like you ain't got superpowers.
It's not.
And
just
there
about
is
aliens.
different gangs and stuff that
Yeah,
you are
there are-
fighting
yeah.
in.
Yeah,
Definitely
but all
different
these
gangs,
gangs,
right.
like all these gangs that are in the game, eat Panera and drink Starbucks.
That's
But
what I'm
you-
saying. Thank you, Smooth. Thank
that's
you,
not
Smooth.
true.
Thank you,
That's not
Smooth.
true.
Thank you.
Panera
That is not
Bread
true,
gangsters.
That is
though.
not true. That's
Thank
not
you.
true.
They out
true.
here. They out here.
Man.
That's
Yo,
not
they
true.
out here like
Oh,
they out here trying to fucking like.
Stupid.
They upload on TikTok videos.
See,
and
Dre,
shit
this
like
is
that.
what happens
Fuck
when
this
guys that
game.
don't even play the games
Yo,
are talking
as a
about.
matter of fact,
They
They don't even know what the hell they're talking about.
all the
Nah,
girls
when it
in the
comes to
Saints,
Saints Row-
all the girls in the Saints Row reboot drive a Subaru and have a
Drive
shortcut,
Not true.
right?
Not
Half
true.
shade,
Not
half
true.
They drive a,
shade.
what was that? What's
That
that
is
yellow?
not true.
It's like a
Half shade
1950 like
hair.
car. What the fuck you mean?
That is
half
not true
shaved
at
hair,
all.
all the bullshit, bro.
That's not even
Thank you,
true.
Smooth. You know what I'm
Stop.
talking about.
How are you guys?
Hold up, Logan. Hold up.
Like, I
Logan.
don't understand like the fact that you guys are talking about a game that you haven't even played.
I see.
Hold on,
enough.
And you're
they're-
saying things that aren't in the game
And they're
that we
talking
Dre
about
and
the
I are
main
telling you is
character.
not
Like I
in the
said-
game, but
like
you're
I
telling
said-
us it's in the game.
Like I said,
Right.
I'm not a hater, but when it comes to Saints
That's a
Row,
little.
That's
That's
not
a
true.
little
I'm a
bit of
hater.
a. That's a
I'm
little
a
bit
hater.
being a hater. You're like,
I'm a
yo,
hater.
all the enemies are drinking lattes. I haven't seen
I'm
one
a-
No.
enemy
It's
in that
a
game
joke.
drink
It's
a
a
latte.
joke. I'm not saying
No,
they drink
Steve.
lattes. It's like the characters in the game look like they drank lattes from Starbucks. These aren't the.
Like,
for
but
example,
hold up.
What are
Smooth.
you
Ain't
talking?
but-
What game are you playing?
what
Oh,
game
that's
am I
right.
looking
You're
at?
not.
I'm
playing.
looking at
No.
Saints Row.
you know what it reminds me of.
Cock Diesel dudes though.
See,
Ain't one of-
dope
You know what
boy,
it reminds me? It reminds me of the jump from Watch Dogs 1 to Watch Dogs 2.
Oh,
Watch
yes.
Dogs 1
Yes.
was lit. Watch Dogs 2 tried to get into that weird shit, and it was like, nah,
Watch
this ain't
Dogs
lit, bro.
2 was legit as
True.
fuck.
Son,
What the
Watch
fuck you
Dogs
mean?
1 was
dog.
not like
Dude, Watch Dogs 2 is
is
great.
dope boy,
Watch
you are
Dogs 1 was
talking
okay
about the
and
main
2 was
character,
okay.
the main character who's a created character. Like you
Yeah,
talking
you-
about.
I'm not
you
talking.
literally
I'm not
create
talking
that
about
character.
No.
to
I'm
be
not
whatever
talking about the main
fuck you
character.
want him
You're
to
talking
be.
about the girl with the shaved head. That is a created character. You do not have to make your character like that.
Yeah.
All right.
This
So
game-
my
this
thing is,
game
all
is
right.
not
I'm gonna
good.
tell you this. Right. Here's the thing. I watched a. All right. It's not. I'm not saying Saints Row is whack because I think it's a whack. Now, here's the thing. My preferred. Now, I was steamrolling in 2006, saying Saints Row is gonna be better than Grand Theft Auto. Like I was on Saints Row's. Like I was on that
Facts.
train
That's
by
your
myself.
fault though.
That was your fault.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's-
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
that was your fault that you was on that train.
Listen. I'm not. But I believe that, and when the game came out, I still stood by it because I enjoyed Saints Row 1 and Saints Row 2 that much.
I felt the same way too.
I felt like I didn't like Grand Theft Auto 4, but I did enjoy Saints Row 1. I enjoyed that. Like I thought it was like okay, I like this whole take. It looked like it was their take of San Andreas. You know, they had the different gangs with different
Yeah,
sets,
San Andreas,
different
yeah,
colors,
with
and
the
stuff like that.
territories.
The story
Yeah.
was actually, even though it was still it had their quirkiness, but the story it was a real attempt.
It was
like,
real.
It was a real attempt at like okay, I get this. I can rock with this.
Yeah, like they
And
had
when-
Keith David in the joint. So,
Yeah, and when they said they
I
want to
mean-
reboot it, like, and Coke is right. When they first said they were going to reboot it, they didn't reveal obviously anything about it. It was like it was a reboot, and it was like, oh crap. And they said it was going to be more grounded, right? A little bit more grounded.
Yeah,
right?
they did
And
say
so
that.
we were like,
They did say
oh
that.
crap, this means they're probably going back to like Saints Row 1, Saints Row 2, right? And then they showed, and then you get the little girl with the little cotton candy cut, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And like, all right, this is some Gen Z Watch Dogs 2 bullshit. I was like, all right, so-
Definitely way more grounded than Saints Row 3 and 4.
yeah, fair enough,
Like,
which is fair.
Fair, no, that's
way
true.
much
That's
is.
true.
Which is
That is
fair.
But
true.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I
But
am saying it is a
now-
mix between 2 and 3.
The reason
No.
why I haven't,
And then you guys are telling me I'm wrong.
the reason
Like,
why
what the
well,
fuck?
I can't tell you you're wrong because you played it. You're right. I didn't. The reason what turned me off the game was two things. I watched a ton of videos which revealed some of the insane bugs that was going on. Where it's like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, all right, okay, but does it look good?
No.
No. And then I hear the next gen performance. Now this turned me all the way off.
Deal breaker.
Deal breaker.
Nah,
To the point
that,
where
that doesn't matter if you're playing at the 1440p high frame
yeah,
rate,
but
especially-
I just did the
40
I just did
when,
1080 high
when I
frames.
hear high frame rate, I'm thinking it's 120 frames.
oh, stop it.
This is 60 frames is the standard. It's normal frame rate, so I don't want to. You can't count it as high frame rate if it's targeting 60.
No,
feel
we can't
smooth on
say
that.
that's
I feel
standard
smooth
because
on
we
that.
still have 30 frames per second
Yo,
game.
Nah, don't
every
nobody
game that
care
has
30
came out
frames,
so
though.
far, there's only I can
handful
only,
of games.
I can only name like 3 games 30. That targeted 30 frames per second. That was Flight Sim and the Medium.
Disgusting. Yeah,
those are the only 2 games I can think of. Right?
Like the Medium had like a point behind it, kind of, bro. Like it's
so the thing
is,
not only so I'm not mad that it's 60 frames, but I'm mad
that has a 60 frames mode.
The best visual option is 1080p. And then their 4K option, their 4K option is running at lower than low settings, and it can't hit over 37 frames per second.
That's why you need that's why you need the balance of 1440p.
No, they should have optimized. They should have optimized the game, right? For
that performance is abysmal on that game. You
ran
know
between 1080p and 1440p, but they gave you 7 graphic options and all of them trash.
If you have a VR compatible TV, that doesn't matter.
That's crazy, Dre. You sound like an early Xbox Series X owner right now.
I have not.
I know what's funny about Dre. You know what's funny about Dre? Because Dre got this game on PlayStation now. Had this shit came out before PlayStation got that update.
Oh my god!
What would you have said?
Hey, it is what it is, though.
Now that they got VR, now it helps.
Why y'all mad at me for taking advantage of what the console can do, man?
Stop it! Stop it!
I mean, hey, I'm taking advantage. Of
That's what I'm saying.
Man.
You sound like an early Xbox Series X owner right now. That's insane.
Right, what are you guys arguing about?
Oh man,
we're talking about Saints Row.
The performance is not that bad, dog. I'm telling you, I promise.
Did you buy it, Smooth?
No,
it's not bad.
No, Smooth don't buy games.
Yeah, I haven't bought a game.
Oh man.
See, here's the thing.
He'd rather buy fucking what the hell is that Bright Memory 20 times before he'll buy another game.
Here's the thing, though. Like,
at least the game performs.
Like between Game Pass and like getting review codes, like there's not even a lot of need for us to buy games. Like,
lucky you.
Well, yeah, some of us aren't as lucky as you. So
no, but the thing, I'm just saying that about Smooth. Like, it's not like he's not buying games. Before we got review codes and stuff, like Smooth bought everything. It was kind of a problem. Like he bought everything, like even though you didn't like it or not.
So I won't be making that mistake again. And I can't. Go ahead.
I will say, wait for a sale.
Oh, absolutely. I'm waiting for this shit. I'm waiting for a sale on PC.
Dre, he gonna wait 3 years and it's gonna pop up on PC.
You can't lie, man. You're not on Twitter anymore, right?
Not as of right now, no.
Oh man, you should have been on there when this game dropped, bro. When that Metacritic score came out, the jokes were insane. That was my favorite. That was my favorite thing this past week for seeing that shit.
I'm not gonna hold you. Right now, that Metacritic score is accurate, but that does not mean that it's a bad game, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's accurate. Like if the game were to end right now, that would probably be around my score as well. And it's probably going to continue. The trend that is going. I don't see it getting any better. You know what I mean? So I mean, the Metacritic score is accurate in my opinion, but it's not a bad game. You know what I mean?
All right. So out of everything that we've had released on since 2020, right? Since the Series X and PS5 have came out, right? Mm-hmm. Is this one of the worst games that we've gotten so far of that scale?
Oh no, I would not say that. I've played worse.
Come on. Let's be real. What's contending with that game in terms of it being bad?
I think Biomutant.
We haven't really had many open world games.
Did y'all play Biomutant though?
Yeah, I dropped it.
Oh.
Oh man.
I'll say wait for it to drop to $20, man.
Yeah, 20 more like 15.
$20.
I'm not.
Oh yeah, Crossfire. Crossfire is up there too.
Crossfire's definitely up there.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
I'm sorry.
I'm
mad. I'm disappointed because I thought Saints Row was gonna be a dark horse. I wasn't really checking for it because of the double pump latte, and I was like, maybe it's gonna be. I'm gonna buy it, but something told me to hold off. Now that game isn't doing any of my console justice. So the thing is, I have to get it on PC.
Don't even play it on PC.
No, I'm not. Why you don't get it on PC? You ain't gonna play it on PC.
No. Oh yeah, well, I just won't. I'm not buying it for $60. I'm gonna buy it on sale, and but if I buy it, I'm buying it on PC. I'm not settling for 1080p 60. I'm not doing it.
You don't got to, man. I swear you don't, man. I'm not even bullshit.
I don't even get I'm playing it at 1080 60 and I don't even give a shit.
You can play that.
They say, we got the game.
But you play, but also
it is playable
also,
at 1440p.
Play on the Switch though too.
I promise you.
So
I don't know what that has anything to do with it.
The game runs out 4K.
Are you running with
page? Are you play it like lower standards and stuff? So
yeah, no, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Their last game runs at 4K 60 after a patch.
What was that? Saints Row 4?
Saints Row 3.
No, the third.
Oh, the 3. Okay.
And this game don't look that much better. It's in a better location. It looks like, it looks like a better location from what I can see.
It's ugly. It's definitely an ugly game. There's no getting around.
And I ain't playing no ugly game at 1080p 60.
Yeah.
So I can at least make it look pretty. Like, here's the thing. Yeah. I don't mind playing at 1440p, right? But not at those settings. Because I feel like they didn't do it. I feel like, this is
that image quality is garbage.
That this is like, it just doesn't seem right. You know what I mean? It looks like they were preparing this game. So they was like, all right, you know what I mean? They'll drop a pro or in a second version of these next gen consoles, and then and maybe they'll get higher frame rates on that. It's just unacceptable, honestly. After watching what this dude was able to do with Bright Memory Infinite and to deliver those options at that fidelity, and then for Saints Row, come on, and their Embracer Group is buying everybody. They're putting out games every 5 minutes and everything, and it's like, I don't want Embracer buying any more studios if they're just gonna be putting out mid games. Like Embracer caught something. They bought, I don't know. Gearbox hasn't released a game under Embracer yet. Neither did Crystal Dynamics or Adios or anything like that. But outside of those studios that they recently acquired, they've put out mid-tier. They're the Walmart publisher. Like their games is what you get from literally Walmart. Like you go,
but Smooth, they're just buying up. Like they're buying up a lot of the companies and studios. Like while they're in the midst of doing these projects for the most part, because like that was already heard of. Like this reboot of Saints Row was already like in progress by the time those people was picked up.
No. THQ and everything has been under Embracer for a hot minute, so this is like a full. This game is fully under them. But the thing is, it's just like I don't know what kind of budget it is or whatever, but I just feel like this is it's not good. Now I'm interested because I feel like this is the game is it's what I guess I need at this time because of like the drought that I'm in. It's a type of game
drought
that
you're in.
Not 60 though.
I'm just disappointed.
Don't buy that shit at 60.
Oh hell no, I'm not buying this game at 60. I'm not buying a game at 60. I'm gonna wait. You know what I mean? And maybe by the time I get it, it's patched up. Maybe they boosted. They finally use FSR or something on the console version. But at this point, I'm not getting it on console, and I'm not getting it for $60. So at some point in the next month or two, I'm pretty sure with all these bad reviews, I'm surprised somebody's gonna throw it on CD Keys for like $22, or something. So we will see.
Sounds about right. That's the right price.
But I'm happy y'all enjoying it because you know what I mean. I'm gonna have to. I'd rather at this point, the way that this year is going, I'm gonna buy a bunch of DreamWorks games and DreamWorks movie adaptation games and get through those because I feel like those are.
What game are you talking about, Smooth?
Dragons. Was it the Dragon game? The Legends of Dragons? Was that Dragon movie where the kid rides the dragon?
I do want to talk about the Saint Row thing real quick if you guys don't mind.
Go ahead, please.
Like when it comes to say like that's the fear I have with people like Embracer Group like buying these IPs and these companies because like look at like Destroy All Humans. I feel like if you put a lot of money behind that, you could actually have a very successful brand. Cause just think about the concept: aliens taking over the world. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that could do well, but like part of me is just like I feel like a lot of these companies like Embracer Group, they know they know how much power those brands have, so they know that they can buy them, put as least money as possible. Because if you think about it, besides Saint Row, they don't really promote their games like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like I feel like they're and that maybe putting bare minimum is not the correct word, but I don't feel like they really put enough money thinking that, okay, if we make this the best it can be, we can get that money back. I feel like their mindset's look, let's make this like the older games. Let's not evolve too much about it. Make it look better, and then push it out there. And then that's my fear. It's like, look, you got the Lord of the Rings franchise. What are you gonna do to make that franchise better? You know what I'm saying? Like, and we see a lot more than not that they don't really try to make the franchises better. Like, name one of these smaller AA games that they bought that you felt like they did justice for, because they've done it for a few brands, like the Darksiders franchise. Same thing. A lot of people didn't like Darksiders 3.
Yeah, no, I didn't like that one. Not at all.
Yeah, so that's my only fear. And I do feel like we are to a point where Bethesda was bought by Microsoft. Sony was bought by another person. Like, we are to that point where we do need to see more of these AA people come up and take these AAA spots.
Yeah.
But it's like they gotta put the money into it. It's like, if you don't want to market these games like drastically, and I get that sometimes marketing costs more than the actual damn game to make. But it's just like, at least like, try to get good talent. It's just like, there ain't no reason Saint Row turned out that way. And what I'm seeing everywhere, all the trusting people I know, it has not, like, the performance is just an add-on. Like, the game itself isn't that good. Rant over.
I heard about the little one thing that they said somebody, I think it was Matt, he said it's like Mafia 3-ish with like having to do certain tasks. Mafia 3 actually had a good story, so I didn't mind. The thing is that you have to do, I don't like the idea of being forced to do a certain amount of tasks before you unlock the next mission. That drives me nuts, because even if your game is, let's say, somewhat fun, and you take me away and it turns out to me spending 2 to 3 hours doing something just so I can progress the story, that will be a problem for me. Is that the case, Logan and Dre?
I haven't had that issue.
I haven't gotten to that
right now. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about right now. Because
I remember that in Saints Row, like 1 or 2.
I do remember that.
1 and 2. 1 and 2.
Saints Row 1 and 2 did have that.
Yeah. So we're gonna. Okay.
Well,
it wasn't bad. It was fun.
Here's my thing with the Saint Row. Like, I probably wasn't gonna support this game regardless. I enjoyed Saint Row 3 and 4. Those are pretty good games, but it felt like this one they were trying to rebrand like the incorrect way. Because like what I remember Saint Row being, after they went away from, okay, we're never competing with GTA, we need to do something different, is let's make this not take itself seriously. Like, let's make fun of like stereotypes. Let's make fun of everything we can. It's pretty much like a light version of South Park. And it's just like, what I've been told is like, there's not a lot of that in this new Saint Rows, which, I'm sure people in here has played it. You can correct them if the people that's been telling me, like, it's just, I think there was a lot of reasons that this game's just not liked. And I think that go ahead and talk.
I think it's still like that. Like, it doesn't take itself super serious. You know what I mean? I think it's still that lighthearted goofiness, that has always been. So I don't know where.
And I got a 3-hour stream that you can check out on the Twitch where my wife and I were busting up laughing. Then
you guys were having
the entire
fun.
time we were playing.
I popped in there for a little bit.
And that to me is what holds more value, is the fact that my wife and I are having fun playing it.
Make sure you guys in the chat go to twitch.tv/Ole Man Logan, hit that follow button and watch that man stream.
The game is corny, but that's what it's always been, though.
Yeah, and that's why I refer back to Paul Tassi's article about, listen, if you enjoy Saints Row and you've liked Saints Row, you're gonna like this game.
Then it's just more of it, yeah.
It's just more like, they don't reinvent the wheel. They don't go crazily absurd with it. It's not the most graphically intense game.
But
it does have its bugs, but it's Saints Row. Like, that's what it is.
Row.
Yeah.
Like, it's what it became. It's what it became, but then they drew it back a little bit to where it's like a little bit more grounded, no aliens, no superpowers, no hell, and all of that shit. That's all it is. Like, it's just a little bit more stripped back.
And so when I saw that and I bought Saints Row knowing that it's more or less Saints Row because I enjoy that franchise, I'm liking it. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, That's it.
And so that's my only thing. I just, embrace all these companies. If they keep investing into these younger IPs, the ones that, I feel like there's a lot of double IPs out there that, was done good, but it could have been done so much better if it got a sequel or got another chance. And especially with technology the way it is now. Like I remember the Mercenary series. Like I feel like they could have did something with that. Prototype. I feel like Prototype could get really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Even Army of Two. It's just like
games
like that.
All about that game.
Army of Two was fire.
I'll tell you.
But wasn't that EA though?
Yeah.
No.
Army of Two was
Microsoft's
EA.
about the
Army
whole
of Two
Prototype.
No, I'm saying
But
Army
that's
of Two.
Activision.
Army of Two.
Yeah, Army of Two was EA.
But that last Army of Two game was not. It was not it.
That's what I'm saying.
The Cartel, or is it Devil's Cartel? I believe it's called. Yeah, that game was not it. But I would like, so that Volition, they came out, they did Saints Row. I would like for them to revisit Red Faction. And I'm not saying open world third person shooter Red Faction. I'm saying go back to what OG Red Faction 1 and 2 were and make like a nice, like spectacular linear first person shooter. It doesn't have to be super big in scope or scale. It could just, be a little bit smaller. And that I would like to see I'd like to see them revisit Red Faction, because that was one of my favorite series on the PS2. I loved Red Faction 1 and 2.
Yeah, Red Faction was dope.
Okay.
For sure.
So
can we get to Gamescom?
Let's get to Gamescom.
Why?
Crashcom.
I'm just kidding.
Crashcom.
Oh man.
So
there was some stuff in there.
It's still it's still going on right now though, right?
It's very light stuff though. Like,
yeah.
They had like one. It was like one publisher.
Though.
So for me personally, I like to see more Sonic Frontiers. Like that's a game I'm legitimately looking forward to. So
no, that does.
Hold on. Whoa.
Did you see that they copied their level layout though?
You don't want this smoke, Dre.
You are excited for Sonic Frontiers, but have the nerve to talk.
Don't you?
I mean, with Sonic Frontiers, I don't know. That game look lit though. That game looks
Sonic.
lit.
Yo, I fucking love Sonic, bro. Don't come at me, man.
That shit looks like dog shit, man.
Stop
You
it.
know
Stop
it.
it.
You know it.
They don't even have faith in that series.
I don't know
nothing. They're out
nothing.
to die.
I don't know nothing, man. I don't know. That game's finna be heat.
I feel.
Yeah, it's gonna burn in fucking flames.
Yo, I got Ham Solo. I got Ham Solo in the chat backing me up. Yo, Sonic looks great.
Ham Solo
Thank you.
for sure.
We getting that day one, baby. Sonic.
Yes, sir.
Well, when the Sonic reviews come out and it's trash, I'm gonna fucking drag your asses.
Go ahead.
Oh my god.
Do it.
About it.
I got my likes off of my Saints Row slander on Twitter, so I'm happy.
Go ahead, Smooth. Introduce the topic, man.
All right, so Gamescom happened. The opening night live. That was yesterday or 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
It was yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley.
Was it, sir?
Yeah.
He held a 2-hour show. And full of surprises. Honestly, the only thing I gotta say about it, I was disappointed. I was going to be disappointed because there was nothing they could show that could excite me unless it was something like a Megaton that was dropping this year. I don't even have a list of games that were shown. I know in my head
they showed a lot.
I can name off some of the titles.
I'll tell you 4 games I think that got my interest. I think Atlas Fallen is that one.
That looks good.
High on Life, of course.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, that was
Lies
good.
of
I like that gameplay.
Lies of P.
Yeah, Lies
of Pinocchio meets Bloodborne game.
Yeah, Pinocchio.
Have you hold on, Smooth, before have you seen because they have extended gameplay on that? I watched it. I just want to know, have you watched it?
The extended one like IGN put up?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not yet. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay. That game don't look that good to me. But
which game was it?
Lies of P.
No, I think he's talking about High on Life. Lies of P.
No.
joint?
Lies on P. Was it Life of P?
Life of P, Lies of
Yeah,
P,
whatever.
Pushing P, Gunner.
Pushing P. Yeah, yeah.
Do you think it's one of those games? Oh,
they got extended gameplay on IGN.
That game looks lit, bro. Like,
it looks okay. It looks okay.
I'm gonna play that. Like, yes, sir.
That's why I was asking if Smooth watched it.
Yeah, nah. I feel like Addict, was there another game? I feel like when I was watching it, it was another game that stuck out.
They had that one game that kind of looked like Ghost of Tsushima at first. It was like that Chinese or Japanese game.
That didn't interest me, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it was like PC only or something like that.
Yeah,
I thought that looked.
Go ahead and
good.
go through the games. Dope.
Oh, besides that, we had more gameplay for Castillo Protocol. Sonic Frontiers, Hogwarts Legacy, Gotham Knights. I don't know about that game, honestly. They got it. There's a Dune game, Dune Awakening. So it's gonna be an open world survival MMO.
Trash.
They're gonna have beta signups for that. Dead Island 2. Wow. That finally, I thought that game got canceled, honestly.
That game looked
Dead
great.
Island 2.
That game looked great.
That was a CG. That was the CG trailer.
No, they showed
gameplay.
They showed gameplay.
They showed gameplay right after.
They closed the show with gameplay. Yeah.
Okay.
It looked great to me.
I remember Neo tweeted out. He's like, they put the trailer for Dead Island 2, but no gameplay, and then 10 seconds later they had gameplay going.
I remember playing the first Dead Island on 360 and beating that with my homies. I had a pretty good experience.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah.
I think the issues with that game was addressed with Dying Light in regards to gameplay, because Dying Light's just a way fun game in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept a lot of the same systems and expanded on that. Other than that, we had a new DualSense controller get announced, DualSense Edge.
Yeah,
so they're trying to have an
Edge.
Elite controller.
I was about to say
moving out
Epic, but yeah, Edge.
Oh, Dying Light 2 has a DLC, Bloody Ties, that's coming out. Marauders.
Okay.
Goat Simulator 3, whoever cares about that.
Okay.
And there was some other stuff, Genshin Impact 3.0, whoever cares about Genshin. I played it a little bit. That's just a game I can't low life because I have other games I low life. So yeah.
Exactly.
Age of Empire 4. Hideo Kojima has a podcast. So you guys like
Hideo
Kojima, he has a podcast.
That is the craziest stuff I've
This dude,
seen,
man.
This dude got
this dude.
I wish one day I have a friend like Jeff.
Keighley. Yeah.
Jeff literally, because I know like even business wise that makes no sense. Like this dude literally put his business on the line for his dude. Like
yeah, that's his friend, man. You know, Kiss moves like, yo, I'm a host a whole gaming event. He's like, yo, make sure you guys watch Arnold's podcast.
You know, but I get, but there's a difference between like saying that at the beginning. This dude gave this dude screen time.
Yeah.
Like he gave him screen time. There's one time that he posted, like he literally let him announce like a movie that his friend was doing. Like his friend, not even him. Like it's just like, geez. And like little things like that it's just like, Jeff, like you get a lot of hate for your stuff. It's just like, you had like kind of weird placements for ads. I'm not saying don't get your bag, but I feel like there's a better way of doing it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like
problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only game I was looking forward to that was there, but it disappointed me was the Hogwarts Legacy trailer. Because they showed something that we already knew was in the game.
Yeah.
Like they showed that you can do curses, but we already knew that. So I was like, why the hell you showed this? I thought they was going to show like a demo or something. But
there's rumors that they're supposed to start or show more on. It's like what the Hogwarts like back to school day or whatever. I think it's like September 1st. They just showed what they showed there was just all that stuff was based on a side mission in the game. That wasn't even any main quest content. So like, because I follow one of the devs who said that trailer was just all based around one side quest that you could partake in Hogwarts Legacy.
I don't know. I mean, they could have showed something other than that. Like we already knew we could do dark magic, so why show it again? But whatever.
Well, maybe not everybody.
Just been for the people who didn't see it. Yeah. That's what a lot of these
it's just little shit, man,
and stuff. Yeah, like it's for like they reiterate this stuff throughout the year for folks who haven't seen it. So shit, if they debuted it somewhere else, they're gonna do it again somewhere else.
Well, I mean,
shit, unless specified that they not going to do that and they going to show something new. So
okay, well we'll give them that. You know that was still gaming related. You should have probably showed something different or not show it all. Spend one on there and let someone or leave a car, reveal a car. Like
I didn't even like because I only saw like a lot of this stuff like afterwards because I didn't watch it live. Like I was just waiting on game trailers for real or like gameplay trailers and stuff. So I wasn't even paying attention to Gamescom, to be honest with you, bro.
Yeah. I didn't see most of it until afterwards.
I probably won't stream anything Jeff Keighley related ever again. I'm gonna be real with you.
No.
It's gonna be 2 hours of fluff. You know what I mean? The Game Awards is gonna be the same thing. Now the Game Awards might be better with reveals since it's the end of the year and at least they're gonna be. Then again, they're gonna be showing 2024 and 2023 games. But
that's one of the problems you have when you don't own a platform holder. Like you don't have exclusive games that's only for your platform. Like you have to deal with stuff like that. Because it's just like, look, like he could do whatever he wants, but let's be real here. Like there are AAA stuff that gets our attention, but a lot of the shit gets our attention. It's like the Sony products, the Nintendo products, the Microsoft products, and you can't force them to do anything. So it's just like you could do what you can to be friendly with them, but as far as like actually getting that type of content, you can't do it.
Yeah.
What did y'all think about the DualSense Edge? Y'all like it? Y'all feeling it or
nah?
For me personally, I'm not really checking for it because I already have a custom controller. But for those who are looking for that kind of controller, it's definitely a great option to have because you're gonna be able to pick them up inside retail stores. Or like things like a Scuff or a Battle Beaver, like I have personally. You can't just walk in the store and just get it. Which is why I like the Elite controller as an option because you can just walk inside of a Best Buy or GameStop, pick that up, and then you're good to go.
Yeah,
but it's like it would have been cool. Like I saw some of the details about it, like with the paddles underneath. I would have liked if they went kind of like the Nintendo Pro controller, kind of like the Scuff controller, where the paddles are inside the controller. That would have been a little bit better. And also, if they could have did what another company did, I forgot the company's name, but you were able to offset the sticks.
Yes,
like
I
but
agree
like
with that. Yep.
So I was hoping that was gonna be like an option where you could just remove the stick, remove the D-pad, put it where that stick is, put the D-pad over there, and be like, "Bow." That would have been sweet.
I agree with that. But y'all also did y'all see that they did not talk battery life? That thing about to be a good 2 hours, dog.
Yep. Because the amount of features that they pack inside those controllers, man, all the extra buttons that they have, and then the functionality in terms of customizing it, like that's gonna take up battery life. I think that the DualSense has decent battery life. It's not crazy, but it's good enough for me to have a pretty lengthy gaming session when I want to. But yeah, I don't know how that battery life is gonna be. You better have that DualSense charging stand. I love that DualSense charging stand, by the way. That charging stand.
I have it. I think it's pretty dope. I probably overcharged my controller because I haven't taken it off for a while.
No, so what it does, it cuts off the charge once your controller is fully charged.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you'll notice like the LEDs is flashing yellow while it's charging, and then it stops it, which is really good. And it's only $30. I bought that as a part of the gift for my brother because I'm getting him a PS5. So I'm like, oh, this would be very convenient for him to have. So PS5, that couple games. Happy birthday, little bro.
Let me ask you. So let me ask y'all something because is the Xbox Elite controller, is that geared? That's like geared towards like competitive play, right?
Yes.
Multiplayer.
For sure.
Yeah. So like that's pretty much what I took from their pro controllers. Like they about to go all in on these games as a service, on these multiplayer games, and they just about to go all in on that.
Because at the end of the day, the majority of, I won't say the majority, but like they have marketing rights for a lot of FPSs on their system. And even if it's not being played on PS5, when you have a lot of these like Warzone players and you have a lot of these competitive Call of Duty players, playing their game, they're playing with a PS5 controller on PC.
Yeah, they are.
They're just so used to playing on PlayStation. So that's what a lot of those guys are doing. Obviously, you have some guys that are keyboard and mouse like myself, but if I'm not playing keyboard and mouse, I'm hopping on my PS5 controller. I just love that controller, man. Like I love the fact that they made it a bit bigger versus the PS4 controller.
Yeah, I just wish the sticks was off angle. That's just the only thing.
That definitely is a thing, and that's why the Nintendo Switch Pro controller is my second favorite controller currently.
Yeah.
All right, just to give you guys a heads up, so some games are leaving Game Pass soon. Spirit Fighter, World War Z. Matter of fact, I should probably buy World War Z. I never even played it. It's been in Game Pass this entire time.
It's in Game Pass. Yeah, don't buy it.
Yeah, but it's leaving.
You gotta play it real
just
quick.
get it on discount for real.
You ain't missing out on anything.
I got to buy it before it leaves. If I want it, Hades is leaving. 12 Minutes is finally leaving after a full year.
I had to drop that game because it glitched on me. Like I couldn't get nothing to work. Yeah, like it and I looked it up. Like it was like if you did a certain thing, like when you first got into the room, the whole playthrough would glitch, and you'd have to restart the whole game.
Really? I don't know. I've done like a bunch of playthroughs on that game and whatnot. So I think I'm missing maybe one ending, but I got all the good endings and I think one bad ending, but missed, which was trash. What Remains of Edith Finch finally got the Series X and S update. On the X, it runs at like 4K 60. It looks much better. Great story. Still makes me cry today. So that's leaving.
Sir.
NBA 2K22 is finally leaving. That means the next year's
23 is about to drop.
Yeah. 2 Point Hospital. They just put the college game in here. I feel like this has been in the service for like 2 years. I didn't even know signs of what the heck is that. So yeah, some games are leaving. Elite Dangerous has been in there forever as well. So those are leaving, and then obviously the games that are coming soon, it's actually a lot, but like in the near future, Commandos 3 HD remaster. What is it, some tap down bullshit? Like I don't know if I've ever played that. Thought they would play a trailer. Tinkkin, which I think is some sort of platformer. Immortality. Yeah, no, I'm good. Dreamlight Valley. Okay, I might get jiggy with that. I can probably get jiggy with that. Shipbreaker, isn't this game by NASA? Aerospace Shipbreaker.
Ain't nothing you said that makes me even remotely sad that it's leaving Game Pass.
No, these are games that are coming to Game Pass now. A Plague's Tale Requiem, which is in October.
Yes, sir.
Scorn is in October.
Yes,
doesn't that game? Oh yeah, that game does have a next gen patch. Plague's Tale Requiem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Humankind, Pentiment, Hello Neighbor 2.
Yeah, Pentiment seems cool.
High on Life. I'm just mad this game High on Life got delayed until freaking December.
That game looked pretty cool too.
That game is gonna be fun.
So just an update on the Activision deal. Saudi Arabia approved for Microsoft to acquire, so that one of the dominoes fell. A couple more need to go. Phil Spencer recently did an interview with I think Bloomberg, and people are jumping on his statement where he says does it cause I don't want to like screw this up, but he says something to the effect that he doesn't want consoles or exclusives or things being exclusive to one device, and that we're going to see less and less of that. To me, that's not a surprise because Phil Spencer has been saying the same thing since 2016, since they started the Play Anywhere initiative, which has been extremely one-sided, by the way. So that's not new. So I expect him to say this, and technically, and he could say this because they haven't since after Halo 5, right? And then since April of 2016, every Xbox game that has released has launched on PC day and date via Xbox Play Anywhere, and then that got expanded to Steam. Now it got expanded to cloud gaming. So all their games are not tied to a single device. All their games are either have access to on PC, on console, or through the cloud, or on Game Pass in the subscription service. So yeah, it's expected. And if he's referring to his games, that's never going to be the case. You know what I mean? So and they were talking about that because Activision, every time they talk about Activision and this deal, the same way they did with Bethesda, is it going to be exclusive? They always ask about the exclusivity of the games, and they've said on multiple occasions that Call of Duty will remain on PlayStation. They intend to keep it on PlayStation, and so on, so on, so on. So no surprises.
I really wish they wouldn't.
I wish they wouldn't either, right? And I've recently put out a video of why I'm rooting for PlayStation. Go check it out after you finish the podcast, which explains.
Yeah, you should be a little bit more specific on that video, because you've upset you've ended like pretty much an error that Kid Smooth is siding with PlayStation right now. What's going on?
No, he explained it pretty well. I mean, what he was trying to.
So,
I thought so anyway.
You thought, oh, great! Thank you for saying that.
I watched it.
So you got what I was saying.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
That means a lot. That means a lot, because that means the video. If you didn't, that means the video was a failure.
I mean, pretty much you were saying you want PlayStation to stick to what they're doing, so that Microsoft will give a fuck you to PlayStation and just care about their fan base. And not put things on PlayStation. I get that.
I need PlayStation to be stubborn. I don't want them to do day and date on PC. I don't want them to because I need them to remain successful at what they're doing, so they don't have to fall into it. And I don't want PlayStation to do exactly what Xbox is doing, because somebody's going to lose. And I don't want PlayStation to dominate Xbox, because I don't want Xbox to give up on like the console space, but I don't want everybody to fall into what Xbox is doing. They need their unique business models, and like I said, after I'm done playing,
well, they're not gonna stick to that unique business model, because they want to constantly expand their revenue stream, and they're like, going to PC and having a PC launcher is going to expand their revenue. They talked about this in the quarterly earning report. Like when they pit their games on PC, that generates even more money to reinvest into their own titles. We've seen it.
Yeah, but I don't think they should do day and date.
I mean, we don't know if they're gonna do that. I don't think that they're gonna do day and date, but I can see them dropping games on PC like closer, like quicker, honestly. But I don't think they're gonna do like, oh, Ragnarok day and date on PC and console. Like, no, that's not happening. But I won't be surprised if somewhere in the near future they're like, oh, 2 to 3 months down the line, that shit's gonna come to PC quicker. Like, remember how movies used to take forever to come to DVD and Blu-ray? Now 2 months later, the shit's already out. That's what they're gonna start doing with the PC games.
I'm sorry, guys. This video just came on my timeline. I gotta retweet this shit. But yeah, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry to say, but PlayStation is going to continue to dominate Xbox. I don't think there's anything that Xbox can really do. But I'm glad you have faith, though. But
Well, wait. When you say that, what do you mean by that, Dre?
As far as like it still being the market leader, I think PlayStation is still going to be, in terms of PlayStation and Xbox. Nintendo, I don't really care about, but I think PlayStation is still going to be market leader. It's just too popular worldwide. You know what I mean? It's just a more popular brand, and that's pretty much just it. People are just going to buy a PlayStation just because it's PlayStation. So it's going to have the it's going to sell the most consoles, which more than likely means it's going to sell the most software on console. So it's going to dominate. There's nothing to like stop that, really.
No, I don't think anything's gonna stop that. I'm just saying, like, I don't care if Microsoft like outsells or like, I don't think Xbox is going to beat PlayStation in that sense. I just don't want PlayStation to fall into the cycle that I guess the market says they should. The thing is that because right now PlayStation is outselling Xbox like now, and it's not by much, but they got the most consoles, still the most popular. But PlayStation, we talked about this before, they can't generate the amount of money they want to generate because there's not enough consoles out. They just can't do it. So I feel like they're literally being forced to like jump into this PC situation sooner than they want to.
Like, but the only folks that could really stop Sony from like doing Sony is really Sony. So this is like the way they move and
the market
like
controls it controls what they do.
No, like yeah, at the same time, it's how you act though. And you see how Microsoft acted in Xbox One. Mm-hmm. You saw how nobody was fucking with it. And it was like, okay, we gotta change it up because we ain't doing that well. And the competition was so aggressive and so just like in your face with it that like they felt that pressure. They felt the folks leaving, the support leaving. And so it's the same thing with Sony. You gotta think about it. Okay, excuse me, they ain't got enough consoles to really supply the streets for real. So at the same time they want to make more money. So how do you do that? Like you expand. It's just like, like we seeing the game space kind of like shift and change. And we going to continue to see that as time goes on. So for Sony to really like survive, but to keep putting out these quality things, as much as people hate services, that just keeps the money flowing. So, but also expanding that space over the PC, that's just keeping the money flowing. And everybody knows the quality. Are they host up the quality of like Sony stuff? So this is like they know that it's going to sell. So this is like, why wouldn't you? And it's just like, okay, like you may not like the way that like Microsoft or let's say Phil Spencer is wording things and handling things, but I think the dude know what he's doing. Like he has like that expansion thing just kind of like mapped out, and that Satya dude. So it's just like, I don't know. So this is like, I just want games, exclusive or not. I just want games. You know my stance on it. So this is like, once those exclusives do drop and you got your Avowed, you got your Fables and all of that, those things touching PC, it doesn't matter to me. Like I just get them games where I play them.
Touch PC because, like I said, like it doesn't matter anymore, and we've as Xbox gamers we've been conditioned that it is what it is. We just play on, even though we don't have to play Xbox games on Xbox, we just choose to because it's our preferred box. That's the only thing. Otherwise, you know what I mean? It's not about the games. It's literally about our preferred box, our preferred controller. So my issue with Phil Spencer, and it's not even that I have an issue with what he says because it's not even new. It's just that, he says something and then people jump to they're about to be third party and all this other, they're going to be publishing games on. I stand by this. Now, this is why I'm rooting for PlayStation, but hey, if I'm rooting for them, that means the opposite is going to happen. I think PlayStation will probably publish the next game on Xbox before the Xbox publish the next game on PlayStation.
No, absolutely.
Not named Call of Duty or anything like that. I think that's what's happening because at the end of the day is that if they want to seek into these live service games and how much games they need to make and they want to reach as many people as possible, they're going to have to consider, okay, and I'm pretty sure that MLB check looking nice at some point. You know what I mean? So do I think Uncharted and Spider-Man is going to make its way to Xbox?
No,
probably not.
No,
but you know what
maybe PC. Like you got to think about it. Maybe the PC. Like you got to think about it. Like that's a little bit like it's a little bit closer than like anything ever coming to Xbox outside of the PlayStation arena for real. So it's just like, it's like you said, what Phil said, it's nothing new. Like, it's just like these people run to the hills, bro. Like, they run to the hills with the megaphones, the horns, the horses, the red flags. They run. And it's just like, none of that is necessary. Like, and when your taste in games is so limited, I see why everybody be talking about gaming's dying and like the end of gaming and, oh, they're going to become third party this, third party that, all Sony ain't doing right this, Sony ain't doing right that. Well, expand what the fuck you play, bro, and you wouldn't have that problem. You wouldn't have that fear. You wouldn't have that trauma. Yeah. Like, this is like, back it up, calm it down, and just go out here and play some games. Try something that you don't usually play. Like it's like these motherfuckers play the same shit every day. It's either it's third person over the shoulder or nothing else.
Yeah, man. You know, Call of Duty and 2K.
Like damn, yeah. Like it'd be like, I mean, that's like they bread and butter. That's what they live off of. This is like shit. If it ain't something gritty and tragic, they don't touch it. If it's something colorful, they don't touch it.
What you mean we shouldn't be playing movie games?
Like it's just like shit. If the topic isn't fucking the end of man or some shit, they don't care. Like it's just like it's okay to play these different, maybe a puzzle game here, maybe a hard game here. There's a lot of hard
don't
games
play no
coming out.
games, bro. That man's all cap.
We talking about PC people? Like, what are you guys talking about?
Oh yeah, but no, we talking about Bless Red.
Shut the fuck up, Jay.
Bless Red don't play shit.
I'm trying to come in here like an evil, or I'm trying to come in here under the low key, and you just want to just shout.
Yeah, that's what happens when you hop in the Discord. We gotta call your ass out.
Yeah, that's the man. That's Bless Red. That's Bless God right there. Yeah, like that man. He be spitting facts though.
The blessed pirate.
Hey yo, leave that man alone.
Mostly for Nintendo games, because fuck Nintendo. Man, I don't be pirating games like that. Like I be emulating games, but Nintendo, they be the only one that be getting hit with that shit. Honestly, the new games.
DK 188 on that one.
I buy 99% of my games.
I swear to God, this man Bless Red and fucking who you call it Blandrew was like Pain in Naruto, bro. Them motherfuckers got beef for life.
Hey yo.
Facts.
Motherfuckers like fucking Goku and Frieza. They ain't never gonna see eye to eye.
But y'all talking about how we're going into a gaming collapse, but indie games will prosper because indie games have always been better.
I mean, they definitely indie titles have definitely delivered some untouched.
They've never not delivered, bro.
That AAA is very afraid to touch.
Exactly.
And so, like I've heard many people say on other podcasts, like a lot of AAA devs and writers and everything, they stick to a formula because they know it will sell. Like with indie games, they can take a little bit of risk with like certain experiences.
That's why, they want to be risk adverse. That's why they never want to. You never want to go against the grain and make something that won't sell. And that's how you get these. That's how you get these developers fucking. These development studios closing down and just like Ubisoft, like not Ubisoft, but
no, Ubisoft has a formula too. Like
no, I'm talking about like if you go against the grain and you go against the grain and put out a product that is high in terms of like production costs and it doesn't sell,
budget.
You
exactly.
fuck up.
Square Enix.
Would you knock it off? Wow. These indie games is costing $500 to make. Of course they're gonna make their money back, man. Would you just knock it off?
and that I mean that gives them more. Man. I mean that gives them. Well, to be fair, I feel like indie games like. In order to survive in the sea of indie games, you have to be unique to a certain extent. You have to provide something that no one else is doing because indie games
That's not
is
true,
a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot more. There's a lot more.
True.
There's a lot more indie games than AAA games. There's a shit ton more.
Hold up. Death's Door is not pushing the envelope. It's just a great game. It's not doing anything.
I gotta agree. As long as you make a good game, people are gonna come.
Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, Celeste.
Yeah, it's like
are you serious?
Exactly.
Rocket League.
Hold on.
Fuck out of here, bro.
This is the issue when it comes to indies. Most of the time, they'll have
Rocket League is not original.
This is the issue when it comes to indies. Most of the time, they have the concept, everything works well, but the biggest issue they have is the marketing. No one knows the game exists.
Exactly,
and that's why it goes off of word of mouth. Yeah.
That's why I've been playing
or streamers.
I just reviewed a game for ILP. It's called The Symphony of War, and it's great tactical game. No one knows the shit exists. No one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's the sad part about the thing. Is like, look, like people think that a lot of the budgeting goes towards making the game. Most of the time, it's half and half. If not, marketing costs more than making the game.
Yep.
Yeah,
marketing, advertising. pushing that game out there. Like, you have to make sure that your game has visibility. Now, I do agree with Blessed Red to a certain extent about indie games innovating. We see this a lot with first-person shooters on PCs, where you have these early access games that are really innovating and pushing the envelope, and then the AAA games will just steal it and be like, "Yo, we did it." And it's like, no,
yeah.
you didn't play.
How many ideas has Fortnite taken? Like, let's be honest now. Like, how many ideas has Fortnite just taken?
Like, you had
yoink. Like, the fuck.
You had
what's
AZ,
funny is,
which is an Armor 3 mod, innovated a lot of things on survival games, and then other games just simply took it and stole the shit.
What's funny is I'm literally playing Fortnite right now, and the funny thing about it is every time someone comes up and has a concept that Fortnite doesn't have, Fortnite's like, okay, because people are doing too much to catch up to Fortnite. And all Fortnite's doing is sitting back was like, okay, I'm gonna copy your homework. I'm gonna just change the title.
Exactly. They just copy a homework,
guys,
bro.
And look at you. I bet you a lot of you guys, like all these BRs that you playing, Apex, Warzone, and stuff like that. H1Z1, like
H1Z1,
whole shit.
And DayZ, those games birthed those games birthed the genre, and they were fucking indie games, bro. They are indie games. Indie games provide most of the innovation, bro.
One thing I will say is
the original. That's what it comes down to.
They birthed the genre, and bro, like Escape from Tarkov, like there's like these games, they're not like indie games are like they're different, bro. They just provide a more consistent quality than AAA games. Like how many AAA games have you guys complained about? Like, let's be honest now. How many AAA games do you fucking complain about? You guys complain about AAA games all the fucking time. All the time.
So you don't complain about indie games?
Quality indie games? No.
I do. I do
typically no. It has to be
early
someone...
access. If it's early access, I kind of have to like give my feedback, you know.
Yeah, but it was like,
but even so, there,
that are in like
early access,
like an early access or something like that. Yeah, like I mean, most of the games that come out from the Volva Digital seem around that indie AA range for the most part. So
and it's like indie games, like they literally like. So good. And the thing is, people don't understand when it's an indie game, it's made by an independent developer. It doesn't mean that it doesn't have a big budget. It just means that it's an independent developer, meaning they don't have a parent company. Death Stranding is an indie game. They don't have a parent company. It's an independent game.
It's not an indie game.
Witcher 3 is an indie game. It is literally an indie game. They don't have a parent company.
I do feel like
but they had a publisher. That game wasn't self-published.
I do feel like
it wasn't self-published, but they don't have a parent company. A parent company would mean that
aren't they publicly traded, bro?
I do feel like that we need to eventually have a conversation on
maybe. I don't know.
I do feel like we need to eventually have a conversation on what an indie game is now, because I do think.
I mean, you can Google the it's
no. I literally said we had a conversation on what it is. Calm down, Blessed. Damn, I'm literally agreeing with you.
Hey man,
we can have that conversation a different day.
My bad.
Blessed.
No, not now. But all I'm saying,
I'm saying just like my bad. Like the best example I could give for like an indie game is like you gotta think about Tunic. It took that man 8 years to do that. Like he only started gaining kind of like a little bit of assistance maybe in like the 5th, maybe 6th year, just like going into like the music and stuff like that, things that he wasn't good at. So it's like Tunic is like my best example of something that is like, okay, it may take longer for this situation to really form itself. Because it doesn't have the backing of like a parent company or like a big budget. But it's like after that long process is done, like the experience that you get when you compare it to like AAA experiences that are just like normally just kind of pushed out all the time, hot off the press, just like assembly line crap. It's just like that's a very unique, very underrated experience.
It's a well curated, hand-picked it's a show, like it's almost like a showcase, an extension of like an expression of themselves. Like it's a showcase of their love of said game. Like the music choice when you enter certain areas, like it's literally a showcase. They're just like games. AAA games, AAA or
about any game though, right? Like
games don't. No. Any games definitely show they have more. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's a more showcase of their love of craft. Like if I play Celeste, it's a very intricate game.
It almost seems personal.
It seems personal. Like you play Celeste, it's a very personal experience.
Yeah, but I can say the same about The Last of Us 2 though. You know what I mean? No. Like that is a well-crafted. What? Huh?
But the thing is, Dre.
Like even after
but we're not gonna disrespect Last of Us Part 2.
The thing is, Dre,
as a whole, but it's like no, like it's like what
The Last of Us 2 is a well-crafted game, technically, visually, performance-wise. Like it's all around.
Dre, the thing is, you're arguing for the minority, my bro. Like you're arguing for the minority. I'm saying there are more. There is more. It's more consistent that indie games are of that type of caliber in terms of providing emotional or providing what feels like tailored experience that showcase their love of creating the product. That's more easily seen with indie games than AAA games. Like I don't even see how that's not even. I don't even see how that's not even an argument. Honestly,
I agree with that because
like what the hell? How's that an argument?
Some of these developers literally like they got to the point where they've been in the industry so long that they lost the love for developing the game.
Exactly,
and it just becomes so mundane that they don't care. Yeah, you can feel it in the experience.
Yeah,
there was no love. But there are
indie games y'all want to champion. Why I could do the same.
I mean, you can look at let's see. We can look at Celeste. We can look at Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Outer Wilds, The Outer Worlds. Fucking Lost Ark, Valheim.
Yeah, but you can say that with
Katana Zero.
You can say that with the Mass Effect series. You can say that with the Last of Us
I think we can all agree that
with AAA games,
the industry. I think we can agree
all the games
that
I named came out in like the last.
I think we can all agree that the industry needs both. They just do. Like it needs indies and AAA. I don't think I'm on the mindset that. I don't think I'm on the mindset that we can like start dictating which one's more important.
Like, come on.
Because I do think that without AAA, I honestly truly believe the industry would not grow because most people aren't buying these consoles and PCs and stuff. They're playing it to play Fortnite. They're playing it to especially consoles to play their console exclusives, Call of Duty. Like I don't think no one bought a console. It's like what I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play. Any of the games that Death's Door and stuff. Like I think absolutely see those games and they want to play them.
Yeah,
but I don't. I think that it's a combination of everything.
Yeah,
it's
just my view on it is just that indie games are just typically better. They're just typically better experiences as games.
I mean, some of them, I mean, you can make a standpoint that some indie games are better, but you're probably playing like the divine of indie games, like not like we're not talking like the middle to low ground. Like, are you playing like
dog shit indie games?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
every year, I guarantee you, there's 10 indie games that are fucking amazing. I guarantee you, every year there's like 10.
I disagree with you, but
you can't say the same for AAA games. That's what I'm saying.
They probably released 300
you can't say the same
indie games. Because it takes a lot longer to make these AAA
games. AAA games don't come out as an indie game.
But at the same time, like I specified earlier, like when you're doing AAA, like they're beholden to a budget and they want something that is promised. So they're gonna fall into the formula and they're gonna keep delivering that. So like when you have indies, they're gonna try to experiment because what is the true risk? I mean, like there's a risk to it, but it's just like, is it as big financially when you compare it to a AAA title? It's just like even the dude, the guy who left Sony, Layden, even he said it was just like, I mean, it's an issue. Like, because you spend like
he was a part of the problem. He was the one who was heading that AAA shit.
Yeah. And he said it's not sustainable. And he says it's not sustainable because you have to grow the market, and that's why they started venturing into PC, because the console market cap was not growing. It's been 200 million. It's been 200 million, roughly 200 million for however long. It's not growing in terms of like in terms of what people are buying in terms of software, it's growing in terms of software, but in terms of actual consoles sold, it is not growing. It is not growing in terms of consoles sold.
I do disagree to a point, because you're always having generations being generation after generation comes into it. It could grow, but let's just be real. Like they're not okay with just a little bit of money, a little bit of increase. Like these people want huge returns every quarter. So obviously they're going to do what they can to get those huge returns. If they got to go to PC, then they got to go to PC.
Absolutely. Though Sean Layden did say that Sony literally, like, they basically they double what the actual like budgets of their games is per generation. And like he was saying, that's not sustainable. Like, what are you going to do when you hit 250 million, but you're still selling the same amount of sales? You're not cracking that 30 million. You're not cracking that 30 million like Nintendo are. You're still selling 10 million or 20 million.
Efficiency. You have to have a certain amount of efficiency with your development.
Yeah. Nintendo will be able to make profit no matter what they is, because
they're always making profit.
It's not even that. Like, it probably costs 2 burritos and a cheeseburger to make Pokemon. So
they don't.
Pokemon costs them nothing to make anymore. Reuse assets. I love Pokemon. Pokemon's one of my favorite franchises, but they haven't innovated on Pokemon in years, bro. Like, I was very disappointed with Sword and Shield, even though I beat the game and put like a decent amount of hours into it. That game, like, that was the one I was like, yo, they have to like really go above and beyond for that game. And some things inside that game was just very, very like
stagnant. Mario been the same game for 25 years. I mean,
that and that's why I can understand. I can understand Sony's standpoint in terms of trying to like increase budget, innovate on certain processes and make their games a bit bigger. But at the same time, not every game has to be that way. We've seen like, hey, you're gonna have your God of Wars and you're gonna have your Horizons and Spider-Mans that are always gonna be well received. They're gonna sell, but then you're gonna have your Days Gone. It's like that just they're not critically
Days Gone was good too, great. But all right.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad game, but the perception of that game. Like,
I just think they had poor perception, so it didn't.
I think that's because of Sony, though, right? Like, Sony is always about the premium, right? So, like, whatever they do, they want it to be premium. So, games, TVs.
Can't say the same for Xbox.
They're trying it with movies. It's hit and miss with movies, but they always want that big budget premium. Premium product. So
and they do
that just trickles down to PlayStation.
And they do a bit of risk mitigation themselves, of course, with Sony's franchises.
Right, they got VR. That's a risk.
Yeah. Well, that is a risk. I'm saying risk mitigation. In terms of their franchises.
Got you.
For no reason, like Days Gone, they were not going to approve a Days Gone 2 unless they knew for certain that game was going to sell a certain amount and that game was going to be well received. Like, they're not just going to greenlight some random shit unless they really are really like they feel good about it. Even for their bigger franchise, remember, like Santa Monica had to scrap whatever concept they had of God of War before they got to 2018.
Yeah. And let's not forget, PlayStation does like have a lot of IPs, right? So it ain't like they don't be trying different things. You know what I mean?
Though,
I mean,
I wonder if they're gonna
do it more often than people would want to. Like, I mean, like OG players, like myself or my brother should even like Bland Juice or some shit like that. Like, my bro misses those. There was like a certain type of game that you played from like PS1, PS2, and even some on the PS3 where it was just like, okay, like this was like a diverse platform, whereas like what they highlight now is what now you are just expecting now. It's just like, this is what Sony offers. And so like when they do something that said is out of the box per se, it's not highlighted. It doesn't that shit, it doesn't get much shit promotion or whatever, but those big Jones that they support, those will get the spotlight. And so like you may never even know shit if they trying something new shit because they not really highlighting it for real. So shit is like I've talked to plenty PlayStation dudes who are like around my age or younger, like who had a very fond like life with the PS1 and PS2. Like it was like, yeah, like I played so many different types of games on that jump, but as time progressed on, it was just like, I mean, yeah, like where did those experiences go? Like you'll get The Last of Us, like you'll get your Uncharted, like you'll get those, like you'll get your Ghost and all of that. But like, where's the fucking
Parappa the Rapper?
Exactly. Some
where is
like my bro? Like he loved that shit. I didn't care about it, but he loved it. So it was just like, where is those things at? Those things are sustainable for them. Like they've noticed that what their fans want, what they desire, like that's what they gonna be going into. That's what they gonna nose dive into.
Yeah, unfortunately, that side of Sony died. That side of Sony died. It was very obvious it died when they just like canceled Sony Japan. They're like, nah, get the fuck up out of here. We're gonna make it a solo studio. We're gonna restructure, but they knocked off most of that team. So that it's not gonna be the same. That team is a what do you call it? That team is a Astrobot team now, basically. Yeah, I mean the game is great. The game is great. I'm glad that they have a great, like that game is a great, like, and I'm pretty the PS Vita, or not PS Vita, the what do you call it? The PSVR game also was apparently one of the best games that you could play on PSVR. So like they're definitely very good at making a great platformer for sure. It's just, man, I fucking like Gravity Rush, bro. And where's the fucking, we ain't even gonna get a port to PC, like nothing, no PS5 upgrade, fucking nothing, bro. It's like shit.
But isn't that's a side of Sony. Gravity Rush remastered in their service.
Gravity Rush 2 is 30 FPS though.
Oh.
Yeah, that's just 30.
Well, then they just remastered the game. Then that's it. There we go.
Yeah, but they don't care, bro. Like I said, risk mitigation, bro. They they don't care.
It's kind of like the Bloodborne situation. Like you see, like so many people, Bloodborne sold well. Like to my standards, like it sold well. Like I don't know to Sony standards or whatever the fuck, but Xbox it was just like Bloodborne sold well. You see that they have not said anything to the people just wanting 60 frames for that jump. Like, so
isn't Souls games tied, like the mechanics and physics tied to the frame rate?
Yeah, which is no.
At least for I don't know, for that game, I don't know. That's what I heard all the time. That's why they can't push certain frame rates, because the physics are tied to the frame rate.
I mean, I played old Elden Ring Unlocked. And I played Elden Ring Unlocked.
Is it good? Like, does it work?
It ran completely fine. I mean, obviously the what do you call it? The shader stutter. The shader stutter was a problem. I mean, depending on the area, I never went under like 80, 90. Matter of fact, yeah, it was I had max setting. It was like I have a 3080, so it was like 100 plus like all time. So
yeah, that sounds amazing. But yeah, like I said, shit is just like those games that don't get, like you said, risk mitigation. So it's just like your Days Gone, your Bloodborns is just kind of like, yeah, like I mean, shit, you would hope, like the fans will hope to get something of those games.
Yeah.
So shit is just like, you never know, like, but you know you gonna get your Last of Us. You know you gonna get maybe another Uncharted. You know you gonna get another God of War. Like those are promised. Those are promised just as much as a Halo, Forza, and whatever the fuck else is promised. So shit is just like
Halo, Gears, and Forza.
There you go.
Though to be fair,
this game is so fucking hard.
To be fair, Xbox does. Honestly, Xbox
don't agree with that bullshit. Do not agree with that bullshit.
No. Xbox now. Hold on. Xbox now. Xbox now. It seems as though they have the variety card now, though.
That's
not true. That is not.
Like they do. Like it's just like even if they're third party. Even if they're third party.
Wait. It seems as though they have the variety card.
A lot of these titles at first. Yeah.
because
they didn't have a lot of these titles.
How can you have variety when you don't? No, listen. How can you have variety when you don't even have first party? That doesn't make sense.
I'm talking about the games that are in development and they own now because of purchases, man. Because of purchases.
I can own a pink slip, but if I don't got the whip, I ain't got the whip. Yo, come on, bro. What are we talking about?
Giving y'all third-party games that you can already play, dog. They're just giving it to you in the
service. Bleeding Edge was variety. Grounded is variety.
Are you playing those games though?
I'm not. That my argument isn't. Am I playing them? The argument is not. Is it good? The argument is it variety, my guy. Don't change the argument.
So you can have variety at a restaurant. You can have Mexican food. You can have Japanese food. But like
I said, I'm not saying the games ain't garbage. I'm saying that they have variety. That's what I'm saying. That's all the thing. That's the only thing I was saying.
You can't have variety if the games ain't here.
That's not true. Because okay.
I mean, there's games Wasteland 3, like Grounded, Bleeding Edge. There are a bunch of different games.
You don't see other companies even offering those games. Like he said, Wasteland like that.
Yeah.
Xbox. Like people when they see that
PC,
like and they
I got them games for life.
Okay, that's on PC, but you're not seeing consoles though. So there's a difference.
That's third party.
Isn't that coming to PlayStation down the line?
What are we talking about?
What, Wasteland?
Wait, Wasteland?
Yeah, Wasteland, 2 or 3, whatever, which one it is.
Ain't that Obsidian?
Right now, yes, it is third party, but we're talking about these are the games that these studios make. Like they do have variety. Sure, it's on PlayStation, but these studios aren't just going to stop making games. Like they're going to make more games like Wasteland. They're going to make more. Probably not Bleeding Edge, but there is a variety.
Gave Bleeding Edge a better chance because they were honestly.
They did. They just I felt like if they weren't gonna work on that game and build a community, they should have just let it die.
Yeah, exactly. They should have let it die. They should have let it die for sure.
Hey
yo, he said every PlayStation game has a bow and arrow.
He's an idiot, man.
If you look at an objective standpoint, if we're considering the games that Xbox has also acquired and has they put out that they're whoever they have under them put out while they were under them. However long.
Wait, Dre, I have a question for you.
He is now giving the acquisition credit for them having variety, even though those games have been out for the longest, dog. Like what are you?
They're not gonna.
You didn't understand what I just said.
They got acquired.
Wait. This is a serious question for you guys. D'Angelo just made a great point. Like I'm really thinking about it right now. Like every PlayStation game does have most of them have bow and arrows.
Outside of
God
of War, outside of Uncharted 4. Outside of Uncharted 4 and Bloodborne.
Dre.
I feel like they would have put a bow and arrow on Uncharted. I feel like they would have.
Gravity Rush does not have a bow and arrow. Like what are y'all talking about?
That's very
and we know they got locked up.
Don't play on PlayStation.
Think about it, bro. Think about it.
Yo, the main ones we got.
We got The Last of Us Part 2 and Part 1. You got Ghost of Tsushima. You got God of War. You got Horizon. What other Sony first party titles they got out there?
Days Gone. What about Ratchet and Clank?
Days Gone. Ratchet and Clank has a space bow and arrow.
It does.
Just stop it, man.
It does. A space bow and arrow.
It's a futuristic bow and arrow, so that counts.
What about Concrete Genie?
I never played that.
No.
What about Gravity Rush?
That's what I'm saying.
What about Spider-Man? What about Spider-Man Miles Morales? Knock it off.
Spider-Man got web slingers.
Web slingers can turn his webs into a web bow and arrow. So yes, that counts.
He possibly could.
No.
Now, okay. So, all right. So, I mean, I'm not saying PlayStation doesn't have variety at all. I think it has definitely been lessened. It has been lessened within the last generation. It has been lessened.
What do you mean by that?
That's not true.
Looking
come on, Dre. Tell them about the variety you've been
looking
playing
at games. I mean, looking at the fact that they closed down Sony Japan. Like also like you see God of War taking a more action adventure type route. Horizon action adventure type route. Days Gone action adventure type route. Uncharted obviously is action adventure. Obviously, like they're transitioning. Like they're transitioning a good amount of their like big budget titles to AAA over the shoulder.
To fit a formula.
Yeah,
I mean, the only genre that
can't be
that
debated.
They don't have is what RTS first person shooter. I mean, which they have Killzone, but that's not really saying much. You know what I mean?
That's just that's just
like what genre don't they have?
That's just basically dead now.
You know what I mean?
They don't have any survival games, do they?
Yeah, no survival.
They got the last.
No,
I mean,
that's not a
no.
Man, if you don't stop it,
I would consider.
If you don't stop it, bro.
Nah, you cannot. You can't. Stop
I mean, they used to have
a survival game is like Ark, Grounded,
like,
yeah,
like
Rust.
Oh, okay,
Rust,
okay,
Minecraft survival version.
I ain't played Rust in years, man.
Version.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that part.
You're talking about the game where you gotta build your house and shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and they definitely don't have first person shooters. That's for sure.
Yeah, they don't have that.
I mean,
they never
that's
had
coming though. That is coming.
They never had that. What's coming?
Hopefully, let's bring back Resistance. Hopefully.
I absolutely believe that these games as a service games is going to be all competitive shooters.
From what studio?
All of them? I don't know about competitive shooters. All of them.
All of
them.
If they were all competitive shooters, that would be fucking hilarious.
Who's making a first person shooter over there at Sony? I want to know.
I mean, they
have Deviation is making
Deviation
first person shooter.
What have they ever? They got the scraps of Treyarch and all these other.
You asked them to make it one.
They got the janitors. They got the janitors from Treyarch Studios. Come on, bro, stop it.
You know what's crazy on Fortnite? I didn't know. There's a mode where you could. They're literally playing the whole Super Series. Like you could watch the whole Super Series.
Oh, that's fire.
That's crazy.
See, they got unlimited money. They could do whatever the fuck they want. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They have all of like the most popular IP in that.
Hold on. Let me ask y'all. Let me ask y'all something.
Yeah. Ask me a question.
How come y'all can give Xbox a pass for the wait and see, but when PlayStation says they have these games as a service games coming, and
I don't give them a pass.
You gotta wait and see. Why can't PlayStation get that same pass?
I don't give nobody.
I mean, I'm looking forward to the 10 games.
I don't give nobody.
Yeah. The words and views of everyone else on the podcast do not reflect or are not reflected by what Dope as Jay says.
Like y'all been waiting for E3
you out here
since
capping.
2013.
Nah, this man's out here capping for fucking. Oh, Xbox has variety when the variety ain't here. So I don't want to hear nothing from you.
I mean, was Grounded not variety? Was Bleeding Edge not variety?
These dudes talking about games they don't play.
Psychonauts wasn't variety. Like just because you may not like the damn games and they died doesn't mean that there wasn't variety. They existed, my dude. Like what?
Dre, I have no faith in Sony dropping a competent first person shooter the same way you don't have faith in Microsoft dropping a really good AAA game.
Interesting.
I went. Let me see.
You see? You see? Come on,
man. Fuck that. Resistance was a banger. Killzone used to be a banger until they fucked up the story and knew whatever the fuck they did.
You see, they used to have really good
Fable
titles.
will be good. I do think Fable will be good. I
don't think any FPS that Sony has coming out is going to be good. So there we go.
So okay, so hold on. Naughty Dog is obviously working on Factions, but I think Insomniac is the one that's working on another multiplayer game as well. Is it Insomniac?
I didn't hear that.
Probably. It's probably going to be some co-op mode in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, because they said that they at first.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I guess I didn't think about that. You're right. Shit. I remember seeing a sheet that said like, oh, Naughty, like it showed like what the studios were working on. I remember seeing Naughty Dog multiplayer game unannounced or whatnot, and I saw Insomniac.
They're doing factions, and they're gonna sell that shit for $70.
I honestly don't think co-op is going to be in Spider-Man 2 because I don't see how that can work.
No.
Unless they figure out unless they figured out a way that you can go off and do your own thing, right? I don't see how co-op with another person.
Here's what
work.
I think they can do. I think they might do something like how they did with Ghost of Tsushima, how Sucker Punch did with that. You just have a separate mode,
a multiplayer
environment.
A multiplayer.
Yeah, just a multiplayer co-op aspect where you just like do missions, fight AI, fight boss and stuff like that. Complete objectives.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
That'd be cool.
Like if we saw kind of like the made up art for
Dre, come on,
they
bro.
said for Spider-Man that they took out a co-op from like one of them jumps, like they didn't go forward with the plan. So shit is like if this game is about Venom per se, and you have Miles and Peter in it, then it would be kind of cool if they did a opt-in, opt-out kind of like multiplayer.
That's what I'm
thing.
saying.
It'd be pretty dope.
Okay,
like,
if y'all saying like multiplayer modes or something like that, cool. But like,
I don't think the whole story's gonna be co-op.
Yeah, I don't want to do the same missions.
I don't think. Like, I think it could drop in, drop out for real. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like you remember,
like drop in, drop out.
I'm gonna take y'all way back with this. Remember Devil May Cry 3? Remember towards the end of the game, you could do like a 2-player co-op thing, like with Virgil and Dante for the boss. They could do something like that with Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, but you're playing the same mission. I mean, like
but you know,
why wouldn't you be able to? I mean, think about it like this. There's co-op in there's co-op in what do you call it? Like one of the Batman games, right? Arkham games. Wasn't there?
But isn't that like that's multiplayer though, right?
Modes, these
no. Where you're like, right? Where you could be like you know, like you go into a room and you take down enemies together. I swear, where you know, like you go into you can do the same thing with Spider-Man, where you could do like
that's fine. That's fine. I'm talking about like on the story aspect. Like I don't want to do the same thing. Like I would want it to for it to be, I can do my own thing and you can do your own thing. But I don't think technology is caught up that far that it's going to happen.
What about you know what would be cool as fuck? You know,
lobby, you can have like 8 Spider-Mans inside there, and y'all just doing shit.
8 Spider-Mans, shit. No, what I was gonna think is like, what if? All right, so basically, Miles and Peter are together basically almost the entire time, but they'll do the same. They'll be on the same mission, but do have different tasks. And what if like they give you the ability? And what if they give you the ability, if you're playing single player, to pick either Peter or Miles? Or if you're in co-op, you guys do you obviously you choose either I'm Peter or you're or who's Miles or whatnot, and then you do the task regardless, and you know just meet up and you guys convene at the end of the mission, or you know like have a big boss fight or some shit like that. Like I don't know.
Oh, we'll see.
It is a super chat I wanted to get to from Julian Johnson. Shout out to him. He sent this a while ago. $2. He said, "This is dope pod, man. Loving this content." Yeah, man, appreciate you guys for watching. All right, this shit kind of went off the rails. I don't even know what the hell you guys are talking about.
I'm sorry.
You guys talk Ole Man Logan out of the damn podcast. Where the hell Logan
go? Oh damn. My bad, Logan.
I didn't even know.
You couldn't keep up, man.
Love you, big dog.
He had to go to sleep or some shit.
No, I mean
this is
go ahead. Who was about to say something?
No, smooth. Go, man. Go ahead. No, it's your shit.
No, I was just about to get ready to wrap it up.
Just in the show. All I was gonna say is like I'm like the watching Super on Fortnite is fucking crazy. Literally, there's like a place you go in the middle where you can press X and it goes full screen. Like
that's crazy.
That's so deep.
They should at least play Dragon Ball, bro. Like, I mean, that would have been
like
lit,
30 people in here watching this shit, dude.
Yeah. They probably kids are like, wow, like
Super.
Don't forget the movie. The movie just came out.
Nah. Super's definitely.
No,
it's
not. I'm sorry. Like I don't.
We're about to get into another tangent.
Nah, like okay, I'm not gonna get into a tangent. But
after the podcast.
I just don't understand how like it's nostalgia, like clouding you guys' judgment like a motherfucker. Like, like Super is well paced, has well villains. It's got great combat in it, and for some reason, you guys want to slob on Dragon Ball Z.
I have so many problems that I can literally just pinpoint as to why I don't like it.
Now, close it out. We'll talk about this after the podcast.
Yeah. Super is okay at best, but it has good moments. It has great moments
after the podcast.
As a series, it's trash.
The tournament of power
was good.
The tournament of power is better than everything Z ever had to offer.
All right,
you're losing your goddamn mind. We're moving on.
Thank you guys for watching Planet Xbox Podcast episode 118. As always, Xbox is the best box. I have the best spot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We'll see you guys next week. I apologize for the early difficulties. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace. Now, I will say this.